video is going to be a whistle-stop tour of the back end of your website. So if you go to the back end of your website, you'll see here, this is dashboard. Jetpack, which I've not seen before, but this looks to be a kind of a backup for your website. So if your web goes down, you may be able to kind of reload what was there before. I'm not entirely sure. This is something that your web designer has added on, so it's obviously something that they think is very important. Posts is obviously, of course it's not worked. Post is obviously any posts that you have done. So this is usually blog posts or news items. We haven't got any there at the moment, but this is where you would find them. Media is your media gallery. So this is all of the images or videos or PDFs or anything like that you've added to your website. Pages is your web pages, so not product pages, but web pages. So your about us, your contact us, privacy policy, all of that can be found here. Comment isn't enabled, I don't think, for your website, but if you, for instance, if you have a blog page and you enable a comment function, then people can add comments to your different blog posts and you can view them in here. Testimonials is things that people say, how much they love your products, how they rate them, different feedback that you get can be in there. Contact is your contact us form, can be found in this page. So this looks to be a HTML format, so you probably wouldn't need to change that very much. WooCommerce is for all of your orders. So in here, when you click WooCommerce, when it loads, it brings you to your, there's an error getting your inbox, please try again. That's very strange. I wonder if that just means that there isn't any yet. So this is really helpful actually. This gives you a bit of an overview of your stats. So today you have had 7 visitors and you've had 30 views. And it's quite useful to kind of see how your website is performing. So different options in WooCommerce, you can click orders and that will show you all of the orders that have come through. And you'll see here whether it says cancelled, completed, so you could go into any orders. I'm actually going to go into Neil Burnett's order because I know that he is your website creator. I don't want to go into your customer orders because that is obviously confidential information. So you can obviously view all your orders. You can change whether or not they are processing, completed, whatever you want to do. You can view them. You can PDF your invoice. You can find out what they have paid, what sort of shipping that they've done, whether or not they've, how the payment method is. So you can view everything here. Customers is your list of customers. So this is things that people, when they have created their own customer account on your website. So when they log in as a customer and they can view all their orders and everything that they've placed with you. So these are all of your customers. Reports again is really useful. It shows you what has been profitable. I use this an awful lot at work to generate our monthly indicators. So you can view your sales by product, by category, coupons, so any discounts that have been used, how popular they've been. So this month, so here we're in the last 7 days, £24.50 gross sales. That's brilliant in the last 7 days. This is your average gross daily sales. Net sales, this is after tax, so you don't need to worry about this too much. But if you were a VAT company, so at work I go by this amount, but this amount is higher because this is the tax and this is before tax. Obviously yours is the same because we're not VAT registered companies. 1 order placed, 3 items purchased. So if we were to go by product, you'll be able to see the most popular products. So your natural soap eco starter set, your lavender and sweet orange soap, and your rose meadow soap. You can see here that these are the top sellers that month. So this is a really useful area to be in. This is WooCommerce reports, and you can see all sorts of stuff. This is where you really see how your products are performing on your website. When you get more established, this will be really crucial for you to keep looking into. So if you go into settings under WooCommerce, so this is your store address. Obviously, this is your home address. Selling locations, you can choose to sell to specific countries if you want. So here you obviously said UK. Shipping locations is countries that you would sell to. So at work, we don't sell to certain countries. It's purely based on what we do, what we sell. Default customer location, you don't really need to worry about this. You wouldn't tend to use this. Tax is calculated during checkout. That's ticked. That's lovely. Enable the use of coupon codes. So this is great. So that means that if you set up a discount code, which I'll go through in another video, that it will work. You've set that up to be enabled on your website. That's brilliant. Currency options here, obviously you would put pound sterling. And if we go up across to products, so this goes through placeholder images. Your favicon is this. That's what a favicon is. That is just the image, the little tiny image that appears on the tabs when you open up different tabs from your website. Default measurements, if you wanted to change your weights to grams rather than kilos, this is where you would do that. Dimensions, centimeters, you could change that to anything you want. You have enable product reviews. If you wanted to turn that off, you just untick these boxes. Tax. Yes, so we have entered prices inclusive of tax. That's brilliant because we are not VAT registered, so we don't need to worry about having tax as an extra on checkout. Shipping, I will do a separate video on shipping because this could be a bit lengthier, but this is where you would update any of your shipping options. Payment, so this is how customers can pay on your website. So you have PayPal, which is great. A lot of people will choose that. You don't want direct bank transfer because you don't tend to have that on a website. You don't tend to see it. Checks as well. No, I don't even know why they would put that as an option because nobody has checks anymore. Square, you've enabled, that's great. Cash on delivery, again, I would never do that unless you know them. I wouldn't offer it through a website because you don't know who's going to be there. Accounts and privacy is your guest checkout. So this is your customers' accounts. So we've put here that customers have to place an order with an account, so they must create their account when they log in. Personal data removal, you don't need to worry about that. Privacy policy, fantastic. Yep, so all of that can be edited here. Brilliant. Under email, so this is the emails. Why does he get that? He doesn't need to get that. Okay, so your website sends certain emails automatically. So this one here for a new order, when a new order is placed on your website, these emails get told about it. So inquiries at the Kendall Soap Company and info at Neil Burner. I'm actually going to change that next because he doesn't need to be told when you have a new order on your website. Cancelled orders, if a customer cancels their order, that goes to you. And if the order is failed, so say for instance, if the payment's not gone through, or if so you don't often see these, but if something's gone wrong on the customer side, then you would obviously get told as well, so you know not to process the order. And these here the customers get. So if the order's been refunded or it's been completed, it's processing, whatever it is, you know, if they've reset their password, if they've created a new account. So you can change these whenever you want. So I'm actually going to change this one for you now because I do not understand why your website developer would be told when you have a new order. I actually think that's quite bad practice because they don't need to be told. So at my work, it's our sales admin team and training admin team that get notified. Our website developer would never, they wouldn't even want to know the amount of web orders that come through. That's just spam email for them. So we're going to click manage. And we are going to delete this from there. Enable the email notification. Yes, we do. We want it to go to the Kendall Soap Company. If you wanted to put your own personal email address in there as well, you could. And congratulations on sale. That's a nice little snippet. And then we're going to click Save Changes. And then integration. I don't think we're going to really need anything from here. No, that's very much just things that happen in the background that you don't need to worry about. Advanced options, again, you don't need to worry about this. This is things that just kind of happen automatically. There's certain functions on websites that obviously just happen as an automation. And then Square here must be your, is it Squarespace, your payment method? So that is all under WooCommerce settings. So under status, this is the status of the website. So this is all green, which is brilliant. That means there's no problems. The server's running fine and everything is great. And under extensions, this is to do with different plugins and different add-ons that you can put onto your website to make it do different things. I did do a separate video on plugins and extensions and what they mean. You don't really need to worry about this, but it is obviously something that you could do if you wanted to. You could look into different things. So for instance, this is like USPS. So if you wanted United States shipping, you could pay extra to put that on. There's all sorts of different options available. Chances are you probably won't need these. So for instance, this one here, PayPal payments, it looks like you already actually have this because you already accept PayPal as a payment method. Then if we go to PDF invoices, if you wanted to, you could generate a PDF of the invoice for your customers to have. And that would run on here. And then if we go to products here, this takes you to a list of all the different products that you have. And then if you click different categories here, you could view it by category. So if you click gift sets, you can view all your gift sets, etc. And if we go to analytics, this again is how your website is performing. And this is really useful for you to see and get to grips with what's happening on your website. So for instance, how do you know that your website is performing well? How do you know if a different product is getting different hits? This is a really great thing for you to see. So it's worth just having a little look every so often at these. So you can see top products, top categories. All of this data will obviously build the longer you have your website and the more customers that come to you. So products, again, this goes you through to specific products, how well they've done in different time periods. Revenue is money coming in from your website. So you could go through all of this and have a look at how your website is performing. If you pay for your website, it's really useful to go through these and you can see what's beneficial, what works, and whether or not the website is kind of paying for itself. So orders as well, this is like how many orders you get through day to day. Variations, so this is like different product variations. So remember we went through simple versus variable products, this is those. Different categories, so how different categories are performing. Coupons or discounts, this is how your discounts are performing. Taxes, again, we don't need to worry about because we are not VAT registered. Any downloads that you might have, so for instance, if you have to have product data sheets, you probably won't use this a lot for your website. But if you need to have different product data sheets, you might want to see how well they're performing, how many people see them. Stock, so this is great. So if you want to go on and say, oh gosh, okay, what's running low on stock, then you can go on here and you can see what's in stock and what isn't, what's low in stock, what you need to update. And then if we go to settings, this goes through all the different settings. So you've got one for pending payment, cancelled or failed, that's brilliant. Actionable statuses. You probably won't use that very much, but at least you will know where it is. On marketing, this is where you will use your discounts, where you'll create discount codes. I will do a separate video on this. The appearance of your website, I did a separate video on this, on how to edit the formatting and the look or the feel or the theme as it's called on your website. Builder, you probably won't use this. This again is linked to how the website looks and feels, and not kind of content, more format. So how big different blocks are, the width of certain columns, all that kind of thing. Plugins, if you need to add a different plugin to your website, this is where you would do that. I did do a separate video on plugins and what they mean and when you might use them. Website users, so this is all of the users on your website. So you can see here you have got all your users in this one. You've got 2 administrators, which will be you and also the website developer. You have 2 customers, and you don't need to worry about these 2. I don't actually know what they are. If you needed to know what these are, you'd need to ask your website developer, because I've not seen them before, so I'm not sure what that means. And then tools here, again, you probably won't use this very much. It isn't something that you would go in. This is where you might import and export things to your website. You would very rarely do this. Site health. So again, this is any issues that have come up on your website. So here, critical issue, your Instagram feed experiencing an error. That one we know about, so I won't go through that one. Recommended improvements. This is just things that it's seen that you might want to clean up. You don't need to do all this. This is just things that run in the background, but it is worth just taking a look every so often. Export and erasing personal data. You wouldn't tend to export personal data. Background request blocked. Word defense firewall. Okay. I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to come out of that. So next, if we go to settings, and this is the settings for your website. So this is your website address, your site title, your tagline, URLs, your admin email address. So this is your website administrator. So this is who you would go to with any website problems, because they created your website. New user default role, that's great that it's subscriber, because that's what you would want it to be. So any new user on your website will be a customer and they will be a subscriber. And you can have your date and time format as well. And then here, these last bits here, you probably won't use much. This is field groups that you'll never ever go on. Options, cookies, SEO, I'll do in a different video. Instagram feed, it says here, has a critical issue, which we know about. All these bottom bits are things that run in the background that you probably won't use much. So let's have a look at what WordFence is. Yes, this is all about protections. This is like data protection, your firewall, security of your website, that kind of thing. And that is all the options on the back of your website here.